name is Mr. Tony Ike Agode. I'm here to talk about the StarTime solar experience that was recently installed to the present facility I manage. We've had some issues when it comes to powering the facility. We made a contact with the StarTimes company, and on the long run, we're able to get into partnership with them, where they formally installed the current inverter machine. The installation of this very inverter gave us a cut in our cost implications when it comes to the usage in power, both in PACN and also the diesel purchase to our generator.
It's a place very close to you, a place easily accessible in a serene environment with adequate security. Ade Super Hotels Limited is the place with the state-of-the-art facility, spacious car park, air-conditioned rooms and suites with modern toilet facilities, standard swimming pool, well-stocked indoor and outdoor baths, boardroom for corporate meetings, halls for all kinds of events and parties, a gymnasium equipped with up-to-date facilities, restaurants that provide local and continental dishes with special services for banquet and buffet. Laundry services are also available. At Ade Super Hotels Limited, you are assured of 24 hours power supply as well as best ever reception that you can imagine. Ade Super Hotel is located at Elisha Road, PO Box 3028, Akure, Ondo State. Telephone 0803 440 4358, 034 206 855. Email adesuperhotels@yahoo.com. Website www.adesuperhotels.com. Ade Super Hotels Limited, hotel with passion for maximum comfort.
That was recently installed to the present facility I manage. We've had some issues when it comes to powering the facility. We made a contact with the StarTimes company, and on the long run, we're able to get into partnership with them, where they formally installed the current inverter machine. The installation of this very inverter gave us a cut in our cost implications when it comes to the usage in power, both in PACN and also the diesel purchase to our generator.
At NTA Television College JOS, you will dive into exhilarating hands that will fuel your passion in education and propel your career to new heights. We don't just teach, we craft the next generation of media leaders. Explore our diverse offering, understanding the personnel matters and issues in the public service, basic development communication, financial reporting under IPSAS, and interpretation of public sector accounting standard IPSAS, audit, internal check and control management, video camera maintenance, new technologies, optics, fiber, IP technologies, automation, storage management, and wireless technology. Challenges and opportunities in the secretarial profession in the digital age. Digital marketing, basic drama, online reporting, understanding the provisions of the revised public service, audio engineering operations and maintenance, camera operations, and intermediate drama. Mark your calendar. The second quarter of 2025 is your launch pad. This is your moment to seize the future. Announcer Management.
Good evening and you're welcome on this week's edition of News Diary. News Diary is the compilation of fresh reports and some of the ones that made headlines in the course of the week. We will go on a short break. News Diary returns with the news of the day. We begin with the Nigerian Education Loan Fund, NEL Fund, has called on student leaders across tertiary institutions to take ownership of the newly introduced interest-free education loan scheme. Speaking during a stakeholders engagement session and technical workshop on NELFund system automation and loan application process in Abuja, the Executive Director of Operations, Iyal Mustafa, encourages student leaders to champion the initiatives on their campuses. He cautions tertiary institutions against delays in process student applications, noting that applications are verified and they are forwarded to institutions for confirmation, a step that has in some cases caused disbursement delays due to slow responses. He reiterated that NELFund scheme was designed to reduce student dropout rates caused by financial hardship. As the president of the National Association of Nigerian Students, NANS, Olushola Oladoja, warns institutions and individuals allegedly sabotaging federal government student loan programs. Addressing reports of delay and non-compliance, Oladoja reveals that NANS has constituted a 5-member investigative committee to probe concerns surrounding loan disbursement and institutional accountability. Despite the concerns, the student body commended the loan scheme for its transparency, inclusivity, and commitment to accountability. Now for stories trending in the sporting world, let's join Peter Oibo on Sport Update.
Let's get started with the Under-20 African Cup of Nations as Nigeria's Flying Eagles are set for Monday's quarter-final match against Senegal. Nigeria reached the quarter-finals of the ongoing championship in Egypt after a 2-2 draw with Kenya's Rising Stars in Group B. Nigeria Flying Eagles finished second on the table with 5 points, 2 behind group leaders Morocco. Meanwhile, Afini Ladies and Golden Sun Sport have qualified for the semi-final spot in the ongoing Prosperity Cup tournament in Bayelsa State. Afini Ladies beat Crystal Stars 3-1 on penalties after a 1-all draw at regulation time, while Golden Sun Sport Academy also defeated Bayelsa State College of Nursing Sciences 5 on reply goals.
Team underrate them because they have been winning them friendly man, winning them 7-0, 10-0, so they use that same mentality to the game, and that is, if it was the first half, you see that was happening. So we'll give glory to God. Next time we'll prepare well and come out victorious.
We're so elated, we're so happy. Initially the girls were G3 because of the kind of opponent, due to the fact that this team has been there for long. But I tried to motivate them and I tried to give them the mentality to go all the way. And we thank God for listening to me, and they fought so hard for the victory. I'm so happy, and I really thank God for this victory.
We are feeling very bad, but nevertheless, it's a game of luck. At least we struggled and strive very hard to penalty shooters, and once a game goes to penalty shooters, it's just like a gamble. Any team can win. But
getting to this semi-final, it was not an easy game at all, but we thank God, give God all the glory.
Staying on football, Manchester City hope to move one step closer to securing a top 5 finish in the Premier League if they prevail against already relegated Southampton, as Fulham welcome Everton to Craven Cottage, while Brighton visit Wolverhampton as Brentford travel to face already relegated Ipswich Town. Other games we see Bournemouth host Aston Villa at home as league winners Liverpool will welcome Arsenal. With Sport Update, Peter Oibo, NTA News.
You're still watching News Diary. We shall go on another break. News Diary returns shortly.
Currency unit is the Naira, while the minor unit is the Kobo. They are both in notes and coins. The Naira is more than just a medium of exchange. It bears the images of our heroes. So, stop abusing the Naira. It is a criminal offense to spray the Naira at events. Stop stepping on the Naira. It's not your enemy. Do not squeeze, ruffle, or write on the Naira. Handling the Naira with dirty or oily hands can deface the Naira. Love the Naira as you love yourself. Be a real Nigerian. Do not abuse the Naira.
You're welcome back. You can also join us on social media on Facebook and YouTube at Nta Akure. Now to some of the reports that made headlines in the course of the week. Primary and secondary schools in Ondo State resumed for the third term academic session of 2024-2025, which is often regarded as the most crucial term. The third term marks the period when students sit for their final examinations, which determine their progression to the next academic level. Our correspondent who visited some schools in Akure during the week now reports. Widely regarded as the examination term, the third term in the academic calendar is crucial because it consolidates all learning from the previous terms. It is especially significant for students in terminal classes such as GSS 3 and SS3 who sit for crucial certification examinations that determine their progression to the next academic level.
We have the joint SS2 exam, the WAEC exam, NECO exam, and we also have the GSS3 exam. These are certificate exams that will be coming up this term. And aside that, all other classes, the promotion exam. So it's a very significant term for us.
Nta Akure visited some schools in the metropolis to observe resumption day activities and assess the preparedness of both students and teachers for the new term.
The teachers, we are fully prepared. I can see us on ground. Immediately after declaring now, we start our principal test, which is going to last for 3 days. So when in the morning, we will do cleaning. As you can see, our compound is large, so we have to take care. I've been taking care during the holiday.
We know that this term is much more of external exam than the internal exam. So we just want a institution whereby our students can be able to carry themselves along. So at this time now, we are putting in more efforts compared to what we've done the previous terms for this section.
Some students also shared how they've been preparing over the holiday period for the academic challenges that lie ahead in this final term.
For this third term, very soon I'll be doing my joint exam, so I prepare very well. Most especially the important subject I'll be doing, such like government, literature, English.
For us, we are SS3, so we don't have holiday. We like trying to read and do some other things as well, and working past questions.
Given the weight of the final examinations this term, students are expected to intensify their study efforts to meet the higher academic demands. In Akure. Still in education, stakeholders in the sector have identified poor reading habits, negligence on the part of some parents, as well as lack of computer-based knowledge as some of the factors responsible for the recent massive failure during the 2025 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination (UTME). They stated this while speaking with Abiola Ario in Akure during the week.
According to the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB, over 75% of the 1.9 million candidates who sat for this year's Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination (UTME) scored below 200. Only 4,756 candidates scored 320 and above, while 12,414 scored 300 and above. This performance trend has sparked concern among stakeholders who described it as alarming and in need of urgent attention. They attributed the poor performance to a range of factors, including a declining reading culture, over-reliance on shortcuts, commonly referred to as miracle centers, and inadequate examination preparation. Other issues raised include limited computer literacy and technical issues experienced by some candidates during the computer-based test.
So we have to trace it to the inability of the student to perform excellently. Many students nowadays, they don't even know the purpose why they are in school. Many of them, they spend much time on TikTok. They spend much time on WhatsApp. They spend much time on Facebook rather than reading their books. Many of them, they don't read textbooks again. All what they are reading is on media. So they spend much time on the media than committed time to their academics.
Most of the students, they are not doing good, they are not doing well, they are not ready to learn properly. They depend on Orijo, what do they call it now? Where they depend on cheating. So they are not preparing very well for their examination.
And people will be blaming teacher. They're supposed to blame their parents that took them to JAM medical center. All those medical centers that are after money. not after their education. So that is the cause of the failure in the JAMB or WAEC student.
In response, stakeholders are calling for improved technological systems, better technical support during examinations, and stronger efforts to instill a consistent reading culture among students to boost performance in future exams.
The parents should please encourage their children to be faithful and to depend on themselves, not to depend on other people or not to depend on where they can cheat.
I want to appeal to parents. Let us make sure we check our children at home. Instead of buying phone for them, Android phone for them, let us buy textbooks.
We the parents to take up our children and let them share know the meaning of education. Then the education will be better in Nigeria, man.
Meanwhile, JAMB has released results of 39,834 candidates being withheld. In Akure, Abiola Rio, NTA News.
Ondo State Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa has flagged off the distribution of educational and sport materials to schools across the state with the aim of improving classroom learning, physical health, and promoting teamwork among pupils. Our correspondent reported that the event held at St. James Mega Primary School, Akure, during the week and is part of the implementation of the 2023 and 2024 UBEC-SUBEB intervention funds. These are school administrators from across the state taking delivery of the educational and sports materials aimed at improving teaching and learning outcomes in their school. The materials, which include textbooks covering core subjects as well as sport kits like football kit, Scrabble and chessboards, table tennis set and swimming gear, were distributed to 52 basic schools across the state.
It's a very good plan, and it will help the students a lot. It will also improve the education system, especially on the area of sports. They will go a long way in developing their skills. I would like to say a very big thank you to the governor for being a father to the children of Ondo State.
I really appreciate Mr. Governor. It's a good initiative. It will encourage the sport activities of the nanas, because in some schools we are lack of sport activities, especially in my school, and I thank God for the table tennis, something that they gave to me.
Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa in his address reaffirmed his administration's determination to raise the standard of education by equipping schools with modern resources and upskilling education managers with innovative teaching techniques, emphasizing that no education system can rise above the quality of its teachers.
Today's event is not just about handing out books and sporting materials, but it represents a strong message to the general public of this administration's avowed commitment to building a future where every child, regardless of his or her background, has unfettered access to quality education and opportunity to thrive in life.
Ondo State Universal Basic Education Board commended government's consistent investment in basic education and urged school heads to utilize the materials effectively.
There is no year that we don't procure these books and distribute it to our schools. And the essence is to make sure that every pupil in primary school and junior secondary school has a textbook of their own to read in the school.
A highlight of the event was the governor's visit to a classroom where he interacted with pupils and taught a brief lesson symbolizing the administration's hands-on approach to education reform. As part of efforts to promote gender balance and social development, the Ondo State government extended its Boy Child initiative to Oyemekun Grammar School and Aquinas College in Akure. The senior special advisor to the Governor on Women Affairs, Dr. Shinwa Samae, while addressing the students during the week, stressed the importance of mentoring mentoring and intentionally nurturing the boy child in order to build a more balanced and progressive society. Oluwakemi Ademola takes it up from here.
In Ondo State is receiving renewed focus as the Ministry of Women Affairs, under the leadership of Dr. Shion Osamaye, brings the Boy Child Initiative campaign to the students of Oyemeku Grammar School and Aquinas College in Akure. The initiative aims to educate young boys on essential life skills, including anger management, emotional intelligence, positive behavioral change, and resisting negative peer pressure.
Your behavior, your attitude is going to stand between you and your future if you don't manage your attitude and your behavior.
Don't follow bad friends. Stay away from drugs. Don't bully your classmates. Negative peer group can influence you to be a buller.
I wish you avoid negative thinking. Negative thinking is that whatever happened, let it happen. Whatever happened, let it happen. Nobody can discuss anything with me. I must do this, I must do that. Negatively. That one can lead you to where you don't expect.
For many of the students, the visit brought a sense of recognition and optimism as they acknowledge the inclusive efforts of Governor Lucky Ayedatiwa's administration.
I feel that everything should not just be about girls. Like, we are a gender together, so we are supposed to learn new things, and I feel it's a positive action towards reducing violence among the male gender.
I discovered that many Nigerians have problems with their anger. They don't know how to use their anger.
The visit of Women Affairs in our school has played a positive impact in our lives, especially in anger. Most of our students and adults nowadays have anger issues, and they will use it to destroy many things.
It was an amazing program, so fantastic, and I pray that this program should continue on a periodic basis in Ondo State.
Our governor, Dr. Mr. Ayedatiwa, is now able to send representatives to go and enlighten, to go and talk to our boys. Is a very great thing, and we are very, very, very happy about it.
The state government says the Boy Child Initiative is seen as a strategic step toward unlocking the full potentials of young boys across the state.
What we are doing is to catch them young. You can see the excitement of our boys. We've been to several schools. Our facilitators are teaching them on what to do when they are hungry, on how to manage their emotions. So we are grateful to the governor for giving us this mandate, for also identifying that for us to have a balanced society, not only the girls should be taught how to behave well, even the boys, they are important for us to focus on their unique needs and also to guide them to fulfill their potentials.
As the campaign continues across secondary schools, it marks a historic move that highlights Ondo State commitment to gender equity and youth development. In Akure, Oluwakemi Ademola, NTA News.
Governments at all levels have been urged to implement policies that support enzymatic recycling of waste as a means to boost Nigeria's gross domestic product and combat environmental pollution. This was highlighted during the week at the 180th inaugural lecture of the Federal University of Technology, Akure, FUTA. Ifeoluwa Omoshule reports.
Research shows that Nigeria is currently grappling with high rates of waste generation, resulting in widespread pollution and posing significant risks to public health. To address this challenge, Professor Folashade Olajigbe, in her 180th inaugural lecture at the Federal University of Technology, Akure, FUTA, titled The Wonders of Enzymes, Glamour of a Clean and Healthy Environment, emphasized the importance of sustained research and the practical application of scientific findings to promote waste recycling through enzyme technology.
Providing subsidies for companies or for industries that embrace enzymes, as part of their catalyst, instead of using the chemical catalyst, which are hazardous. then it will help, it will give us a safer environment, a better environment, and it will also promote green technology.
She advocated for increased funding and support for local biochemists to enable large-scale enzyme production, reducing reliance on imported alternatives.
Like what we have said now, we have used different microbes to produce enzymes, and they have potential in application, in industry and even in the environment. But we don't have a place to store these microbes. And so it will be good if the government and the university or the academia can collaborate to, establish all these biobank facilities.
Attendees commended Professor Olajuigbe's recommendations, urging government to adopt her proposals as a strategy to curb disease outbreaks and enhance the country's gross domestic product.
We see in the academic industry is not the exact intent of what it should be. Otherwise, we should be comparing ourselves with the advanced nations, where research recommendations are taken not lightly.
The last or second to the last recommendation talking about having a kind of a place where enzymes are stored, because we lack that in Nigeria as a developing country. Outside the country, it's easier to get enzymes.
Professor Olajuigbe, who began her enzyme research journey 25 years ago, has collaborated widely with researchers and is a recipient of multiple distinguished awards. She is also an active member of several professional bodies. In Akure, Feoluwa Moshile, NTA News.
Amid growing concerns about professional standards in land management and national development, the Board of Fellows of the Nigerian Institute of Surveyors inducted new members in Akure, Ondo State, with a task to uphold excellence and integrity in their practice. Adebayo Jegede reported that Akure branch of the board was also inaugurated at the ceremony in the course of the week.
With surveyors playing a pivotal role in the land allocation and registration, which are key pillars of Nigeria's economic structure, the induction of new Board of Fellows by the Nigerian Institute of Surveyors marks a renewed commitment to professionalism in the sector. To this end, members of the institute from across the country gathered in Akure for a formal ceremony. In his welcome address, the chairman of the Board of Fellows, Olorunsola Atilola, described the event as a celebration of excellence, encouraging the newly inaugurated Board of Fellows to serve as worthy ambassadors of the profession and uphold its core values.
I hereby pronounce the Ondo State Body of Fellows inaugurated. They are the custodians of the traditions of our institution, and therefore we expect them to be of highest ethical behavior in terms of practice, and they are expected to be a moral compass for up and coming surveyors.
Some members of the newly inaugurated Board of Fellows pledged to make meaningful contribution and build a strong legacy for the next generation of surveyors.
It's a welcome party we are having to welcome us here. I feel so happy. I feel elated to be in this circle because this is the highest class and echelon of the profession. I feel so glad. I worked for how many years to be here, and eventually I got it. So I'm so happy. My family is happy. My wife is happy.
This is the peak of our profession career. We expect them to have more dedication and service to the profession and the institution at large, whereby they will be like a mentor to the upcoming surveyors, and then they will represent the institution wherever they find themselves as somebody who is of dignity, with respect and command authority.
As the institute continues to expand, there is a growing expectation that surveyors would take on greater responsibilities of shaping the nation's future through professionalism, integrity, and best practices. In Akure, Adebayo Jegede, NTA News.
Following the recent land dispute in Odigbo local government area of Ondo State, the management of Sao Agro-Allied Services Limited has reaffirmed that all due processes were followed in acquiring land for its agricultural operations. Addressing journalists in Akure in the course of the week, the Ondo State capital, the company appealed to both the federal and state governments to intervene in the matter, stressing that its operations have provided employment for over 1,000 youths in the area. Oluwakemi Ademola reports.
Briefing newsmen in Akure, the state capital, the company stated that it was formally incorporated into the project and was allocated approximately 10,000 hectares of land from the Oluwa Forest Reserve as part of the 75,000 hectares designated for investors through due process.
We did all necessary processing, we paid necessary revenue, we collected C/O. This is our C/O, as you can see, from the government, and this happened over 5 years ago, and we started paying revenue on a yearly basis. We pay average of 40 million naira every year and other payments.
Since its establishment in 2021, Sao Agro Allied Services says it has invested around 60 billion naira from its farm settlements and remains committed to its corporate social responsibilities. The company expressed shock over recent allegations of land grabbing, describing them as unfounded.
Our area is 10,001 hectare, 0.345. That's the actual certified occupancy. There's a lot of false statement given by non-indigent. Indigent never said anything over there. There is an indigents there. They never say anything. But outside of the indigents who are surrounding our forestry area, this is a forestry land. It's not a community land, but it's a forestry land. Always go for certification. If people say we are not land grabber.
It will be recalled that a group of farmers had recently staged a protest against it of encroaching on their farmland. In Akure, Oluwakemi Ademola, NTA News.
And that's all we have for you on this week's edition of News Diary. Join us again same time next week for another exciting edition. Good evening.